So hello and welcome again with English supplementary reading chapter 2, The Adventures of Toto. Toto is the name of monkey. As we are having pet dogs, someone might be having pet these cats and many parrots, and nowadays there is a trend of having lions and tigers and cheetahs and leopards and many creatures as our pet. So let's talk within. Let's go a little bit earlier. Yeah, for the adventures of Toto by Ruskin Maud, a superb great writer of India. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. We can see monkeys, no doubt, are mischievous. I won't say who is monkey over there, but grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver from the sum of 5 rupees. So grandfather of the scheme born, he bought Toto for 5 rupees from a Tonga driver. Horse cart, we can say. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of the place that the grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So, grandfather consumes a private zoo, and while he used to see the monkey tied every day in the Tonga, he thought now he will be a member of his private zoo. Toto was a petty monkey. His eyes were sparkled with mischievous beneath deep-set eyebrow and his teeth. You have already gone through monkeys. You are saying you used to watch him. Then that eyes every time playing mischief with teeth and this all thing, which were a pearly white, very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. He looks like that of a earlier Anglo-Indian ladies. He used to smile like this. His eyes were glittering, just laughing eyes, we can say. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled into the sun for many years. His hands were wrinkled with him, just like petted over for many years. The fingers were quick and wet. Thin fingers, wicked one, little bit stern over there, were quick. And his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good look. Grandfather says like this, that tail gives a good look to the creatures. Also served as third hand, and his tail was a good tail, that it served like a third hand. You can see the monkeys used to support them with the tail, and many creatures, just like kangaroo also we can see it rests on its tails, and many such creatures are there with a long tail they are using as their hands towards. He could use it to hang up from branch, and it was capable of scooping up the delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. So where he could move, he could jump he could wrinkle on the branches. Apart from that, where his hands cannot be possible to reach, he used to reach that particular thing placed by his tail. Grandmother always first, when grandmother brought home some new bird or animal, grandmother disliked this thing, that every time grandfather is bringing new bird, new animal, new creature at home. So it was decided that Toto's present should be kept a secret for her until she was in a particular good mood. So grandfather was also frightened by grandmother. So now it was decided that to bringing of Toto must be kept secret until grandmother was in good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in the little closet opening to my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely Also we thought to peg fasten into the wall. Now he was kept nearby wall to his bedroom and tied over that it can be hidden over from grandmother, and also packed fastened into the wall like this, that it has been clearly kept in a typical way in a wall, that it cannot be looked clearly. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to realize Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental papers chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked bricks and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. I wonder what grandmother would say. Now it created a problem. When they again reached towards the room, his bedroom of Ruskin-bound writer, they saw that the whole walls was patched over with many papers were there, many posters were there. It have been turned out. Apart from the blazer also was in shred. And now what grandmother will say? They were frightened again. But grandmother didn't worry. Grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. He was happy with Toto's performance. Why? Because ever monkeys are mischievous. He's clever, said grandfather. Given time, I'm sure he would have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made him escape from the window. He's clever. If we might have given him little bit time, he might have made a rope from the blazer, coat, and might have run away by tying it nearby the window. His presence in the house still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servant quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets live very sociably together. A Toto is a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of the companion to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him alone. But now he was taken. Our Toto was taken to a cage where all pets were there, the squirrel, the rabbits, the goats. But his mischief didn't let anybody to sleep over the night. And next day, grandfather was going to Dehradun to take his pension. It was decided that he will take with him Toto. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new adorn. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Now Toto was there in the bag. A particular bag was made from him. He was just kept over there with a straw over there, that he can have something, even oxygen to air to. And now it was lifted by the grandfather. When the bag was closed, no escape. Toto could not get his hands to the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jumping into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway station. Now what? Monkey. We cannot put a monkey in a cage, and we cannot put him in a bag. But grandfather did this thing. The monkey cannot refuse from that. But he cannot bite yet tear the we can say this bag too. So what he did, He tried to make some sound. The bag was rolling within him as the monkey was rolling, and this attracted lots and lots of people towards grandfather. At the station, Toto remained in the bag as far as Saranpur, but while grandfather was crouching his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly popped his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Now it created a problem. He was there in the bag till the railway station, till grandfather went towards Saranpur. He was going to go, and he found a ticket collector. While grandfather was showing ticket, Toto bulged out from the bag, like laughing, doing some mischievous smile, scattering, we can say, towards, here the word is white green, towards the ticket collector. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you? You will have to pay for it accordingly." The man was frightened, but due to grandfather's approach, later the ticket master told that you don't have a dog, then you have to pay for it. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a guard rope. Toto was classified a dog, but the ticket collector and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. He took out Toto. He told this was not a dog, and Toto started doing mischievous, but it has mentioned as dog, and 3 rupees ticket was taken for Toto's as a fare from grandfather. Then grandfather, just to get him out back, took from his pocket out packed Totos and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" Now grandfather also was in mood. He took out a tortoise from his pocket, a packed tortoise, and told, "What does it charge as you take charge for animals?" The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." Then the ticket collector was also attracted by grandfather, so he went towards the tortoise, gave a finger to the tortoise and told, "It is not dog, you don't have to pay." When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable, where he had a companion, the family donkey Nana. On Toto's fourth night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Now he was familiar with grandmother. Now he was kept in the stable where there was a donkey Nana. He was kept within Nana. But when grandfather went there and looked over there, now there was a condition that the monkey had tied up the donkey and he was not able to pick his mouth out of the bundle of the grass. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. Now why she was so? Why Nana was such in condition? Because the monkey has fastened the teeth near the Nana's and Nana was crying over there. Grandfather beat Nana, but Toto and Nana never became friends, and that was condition that this donkey, Nana and Toto didn't become any time a friend. They didn't have any type of friendship. A great treat for Toto during cold winters. Evening was a large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. And a great treat for Toto was that a large bowl of hot water was given to Toto for bath, and that also in winter. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, and Toto as a monkey, he would try to go through, he will put his finger to find the temperature, then gradually step into the bath, first of one foot, then other, as he had seen me doing, until he was not in the water up to his neck. Once, comfortably, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. So he was bathing, as Ruskin Bond, our writer, was bathing the same way he used to bath, keep the soap on his body, leg, first leg, second leg, third leg in the bowl like this. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And when, as you all know, Dehradun is a cold place, a hill station over there. Too much of cold is there. So after bath, when the hot water becomes cold, he runs toward the fire in the kitchen to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during the performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. Now what happened? One day Toto created a problem by boiling himself alive. How? A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. A large kettle was kept on the fire, and Toto, mischievous monkey, now he thought to take up the lid you can see, of the kettle. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he go in with his hat sticking out from the open kettle. This was just a fine for a while until the water became boiled. Toto then raised himself to a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. Now what happened? His head struck inside the kettle and the water was boiling. He peeped up outside, but there was cold, so again he went into the kettle. Then what happened? He continued hopping up and down from some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. Then grandmother came suddenly, hauled him, caught him half boiled and took him out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. Grandmother, everybody could say that if a part in the brain that this section is of mischief, then that section was a great one, a bigger one, especially for Toto. We can see lots and lots of mischief he was doing. One day, whether one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. How mischievous he was, that whether an aunt came nearby her, aunt of Ruskin Bond, our writer, any of the aunt came, he would catch her dress and bite it and make a hole. He was too mischievous. One day, at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. When a plate was kept in between of the table, when they entered, they found Toto was eating rice. Grandmother scrawled over him. Screamed, we can say, and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his net exit through a window. Now what happened? When her grandmother's face was full of rice, aunt came with water and washed it. At that time, grandfather came inside. When grandfather came, Toto took the plate and went towards the window and ran away with the plate of pulao. Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of a jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arm. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into the hundreds of pieces. Then what happened? Till afternoon he was eating little of pulao. And then what happened? As grandmother screamed, scolded him, slapped him, he was angry with grandmother. So towards grandmother he made a particular type of face and threw the dish, and the dish was down at the bottom and in hundreds of pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains and wallpapers. As he was mischievous, as this monkey was the most mischievous creature, now it was decided. Even grandfather also realized that this monkey is going through more and more things. Tearing clothes and dishes and breaking dishes and tearing curtains and dresses of aunts and harassing grandma and other pets. They thought that now this pet is not able to stay within them. And then what happened? So grandfather found the tanga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Ruskin bond is the writer. So then what grandfather did, he found anyhow the tonga driver and returned, sold this Toto again to the tonga driver for just 3 rupees and got released of this particular creature, monkey Toto. So you can understand that how mischievous monkeys are. As you had gone through this thing, you knew that how mischievous these monkeys are, what are they, what they do. So our Toto, they were the adventures of Totos were mentioned over here. You can go through the story one by one. Many such words are there. For many such, we can say, little bit hard words are there. Go through them with the dictionary as soon as possible. Try to read more and more. And as soon as you will get the lesson, the story properly, you could answer your answers properly, answer your questions properly in your own way. Try to write in your own way, because next year in board examination you have to write in your own words, and that will affect more towards your result too. So it's a request, no need to make other section, other book, anything else. Just write in a particular, in the same book, exercise of this thing, only question answers are there. If needed, then and then only you can mention some hard words that are derived in these chapters. Too many words are there. So, Indian writers are writing in a hard form. So only question answers are there, nothing else than that. You can go through this thing and you can read many things else with both the chapter 1 and 2 we have finished. Any problem you just can contact me. So my dear friends, it's kind request to go through this thing, and till that I would like to say thank you to you, miss you all. Okay, be careful, take care of your parents as you are going through the lost child, the chapter. So till that, thank you very much.